Kiss Destroyer 1976. Was released on March 15th and is produced by Bob Ezrin. 9 songs, and it's only about 34 minutes long. And the album cover is painted by Ken Kelly, designed by Dennis Wollock, or Wollock. I would say Wollock. It's you can see it's like a comic book style painting of Kiss, and they were really into this, and over the years they got more into it. And this version here is a Kiss remasters from '97 or '98 or whatever. I got it in the mail a few years ago. I ordered on eBay, and if you've never seen this, they did a good job of just putting together the liner notes, and you got all the song names in here and who wrote them and the length of the songs and all that stuff, and Shout It Out Loud Kiss Army. And yeah, it's pretty cool. If you've never seen the disc on one of these remasters, it looks like this. They all got the clean Kiss logo on it, and some guy wrote. You have to take this cover off to read it, but just wrote a brief story about the album and what they're doing and how they're going about doing it. And we won't get in too much into that here, but Kiss Destroyer, what does it sound like? It doesn't sound like the other Kiss albums, at least the previous 3 up to this date. It sounds like Bob Ezrin interfered, and that's because he did. They went big. They brought in Bob Ezrin, and he wants complicated, echoey orchestral arrangements on all these songs, and he wants some unexpected stuff in there to surprise the listener. And maybe that's why Kiss fans like this. And I also think it got the bump from Kiss Alive. They did the first 3 albums, then Alive came out, and then this was a big seller also. So, the fans love it. For me, I'm not going to sit here and say it's one of my favorites. I'm going through all the Kiss albums at this point. But it's not one I'm terribly fond of, although I think it's okay. What's the big deal? And this is my take, and it's not a hot take, but I think the coaching and direction from Bob Ezrin ripped the Band-Aids off between Ace and Peter and Paul and Gene, and tore that scab open. Ace wanting to play cards. I gotta go play cards with the fellas. Peter not being able to play anything but 4/4 time. Can't play 7/8 time was the accusation, and Peter not understanding snare on 2 and 4 and bass on 1 and 3. Bob is the kind of producer to bring in people that can play what he wants and how he wants it. And look at what he did to Nick Mason on A Momentary Lapse of Reason. Basically put him on the bench, sidelined him. And that's kind of what Ezrin did here. I mean, when Ace Frehley was like, oh, I got to go play cards now, then what did they do? They brought in other guitarists. So he's pretty ruthless, but it works. And they kind of did a workaround of Ace and Peter. I don't know how my computer moved here, but that's okay. All right. Anyway, by Dynasty and Unknown, the band is practically ruined, but it starts here, really. That's my take. Okay, anyway, let's get into the songs, because you guys all know the story, and you know why Kiss fell apart and took the makeup off, and Ace and Peter left, and Eric Carr came in and all that stuff. So track 1 is Detroit Rock City, written by Ezrin and Paul Stanley. So Ezrin actually gets some writing credits on here, and I don't know what he wrote, but he did something. It's 5 minutes and 17 seconds long, Detroit Rock City. The intro is a bunch of utensils being banged around at the kitchen table, doors close, and the car starts, news is playing in the background, and then that starts. It's in the key of E flat major or C minor. But, I was originally thinking that a lot of these tunes weren't going to be down-tuned to half step, but quite a few of them are, and I'll call them out when they are. This is one of them. It's in 4/4 time. And the verse is, I feel uptight on a Saturday night, and 9 o'clock, the radio is the only light. It's a 16-bar verse, and then the chorus is, get up, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, get up, everybody got to move their feet, get down. It's 12-bar chorus. And then there's 2 solos in this song. One from 2 minutes and 55 seconds to 3:27. It's 24 bars of the main lick, the whole da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. And then the second one is, it's not really a solo, but Kiss does this a lot. They take like long instrumental breaks or bridges. And then the second one is from 354 to 435. It's 28 bars, same as the last time, but Ace is playing a solo over the top in a higher register. And by the way, they did that a lot in the 3 previous albums. Just like the first time around will just be the main riff of the song for 16 or 20 or 24 bars. Then the second time they do it, Ace is playing a solo over the top. So it's just one of their gimmicks that they do. They're very formulaic, as you know. Car crashes at the end of the song and it's over. And it's, by the way, I listened to this on the airplane with earbuds on, and it is very loud. And it's also a different experience listening to it in earbuds. So, Detroit Rock City is verse, chorus, solo, verse, chorus, solo, verse, chorus. And the secret to having a 5.5-minute Kiss song is to make more verses and more choruses and have an extra solo and a long introduction. That's how they stretched it out. Track 2 is King of the Nighttime World. Also credited to Ezrin, somebody named K. Foley, M. Anthony, and also Paul Stanley. It's 3 minutes and 16 seconds. It sounds like a Paul Stanley song to me. This song, along with Detroit Rock City, they're both on Kiss Alive 2. And it's tuned down a half step to D flat major or B flat minor, and it's in 4/4 time. The intro is 12 bar intro, and then the verse is, "It's so sad living at home, far from the city and the midnight fun." It's 8 bars. "I'm the king of the nighttime world, and you're my headlight queen." That's the 8-bar chorus. And then the solo runs from 1 minute and 23 seconds to 1:49. It's 4 bars of intro with 8 bars of Ace Frehley solo. And then the bridge is, "I'm the king, I'm the king, I'm the king." He just does that for 8 bars. And then the last part of the song is 16 bars with a fade out. It's an outro, but it's really the chorus acting as an outro. And King of the Nighttime World is verse, chorus, solo, verse, chorus, bridge, chorus, outro. And that's King of the Nighttime World. Track 3 is God of Thunder, and it's written by Paul Stanley, but, Bob Ezrin didn't get co-writing credit, but he did metal in this one. And the way he did that is by changing it so that Paul didn't sing the song. It's vocals by Gene Simmons, and it's 4 minutes and 12 seconds. And also Bob Ezrin's kids can be heard jabbering throughout the song. I don't know what they're saying, but it is what it is. It's in the key of E minor, not tuned down, okay? And it's a slow tempo. I don't actually like the version that's on Destroyer. If you've ever heard them play it, the Kiss Alive version, the Alive 2, is much faster. It's just much faster tempo. It's more like the demo, if you've ever heard the demo. And that's the better version, honestly, the Alive 2 version. It's in 4/4 time. The intro, "Okay, y'all can start singing," is what Gene says, and it's an 8-bar intro. And then the verse is, "You've got something about you." It's 8 bars. And then the chorus is, "God of Thunder, and rock and roll, It's an 8-bar chorus. There's no solos, just the instrumental with the main riff playing, the whole and a bunch of loud noise in the background, like, I don't know what it is. The outro, it runs from 3:34 to 4:13. It's just the main riff of the song again with a bunch of loud noise. And pretty simple song, actually, God of Thunder. Verse, chorus, solo, verse, chorus, outro. Pretty typical song arrangement for Kiss. And quite different from the live versions that you hear. Although, if you've ever listened to the Kiss reunion shows, they were pretty true to the album version for God of Thunder. Track 4 is Great Expectations, credited to Bob Ezrin and Gene Simmons. It's 4 minutes and 21 seconds. Dick Wagner from Alice Cooper Band is on acoustic guitar. This song doesn't do a lot, honestly. Try not to think too hard about the lyrics, as I preface for a lot of Kiss songs and albums. It's kind of gross. The key of F sharp major It's tuned down a half step, so I think, does that make it F, I guess? Maybe it's just key of F. But the sheet music I saw was key of F sharp major with the instructions to tune it down a half step. The tempo is 115 beats per minute in 4/4 time. And the verse is, you're sitting in your seat and then you stand and clutch your breast. Oh, God, jeez. I don't even like saying that. It's 8 bars. And then the chorus is, you've got great expectations. You know, and Gene's very, he's in his typical Gene Simmons storyteller mode. He's not doing the Cookie Monster voice in this one, but he's just kind of singing it. It's an 8-bar chorus. There's a solo around the 2-minute 30-second mark. There's an 8-bar solo, like chimes or something. I don't know what it is. And then the outro is, you've got great expectations. He sings it 8 times in a row, so probably like 32 bars. And great expectations is verse, 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 chorus, verse, verse, chorus, solo, verse, chorus, outro. That's great expectations. Track 5 on Destroyer is Flaming Youth, written by Ace Frehley. Also credited to Bob Ezrin, Gene Simmons, and Paul Stanley. That's a lot. Bob Ezrin gets in on a lot of these songs. 2 minutes and 58 seconds, some guitar licks by Dick Wagner. Well, how do you like that? I didn't realize it. I just connected the dots that there's writing credit to Ace. Yeah, look at that. I wrote it down right. It's writing credits to Ace, but Dick Wagner on guitar. Okay, this song is better than Great Expectations, but not much. It sounds like Paul Stanley's solo album stuff, like from '78. Probably not even that good, though. It's in the key of A-flat major, so tuned down in 4/4 time. The intro is 14 bars, and then they get right into the verse. My parents think I'm crazy, and they hate the things I do. It's a song for teenagers, really. It's 8 bars. And then the chorus is, how flaming youth will set the world on fire. It's a 10-bar chorus. There's a solo from 1 minute 20 seconds to 1 minute 49 seconds. It doesn't sound like Ace to me, but who knows? The guitar licks part that's credited to Dick Wagner, that could be it right there. I think it's a solo, but the outro is the Flaming Youth will set the world on fire. He sings it 5 times, and it's probably 32 bars because there are 3 other lines at the end, and it just kind of goes on. That's Flaming Youth. Verse, chorus, solo, outro. Sweet Pain is track 6. It is credited solely to Gene Simmons. It's 3 minutes and 18 seconds. It has a solo by Dick Wagner, and it's in the key of A-flat major. So again, tuned down, 130 beats per minute in 4/4 time. And the intro, after the intro is the verse, my leathers fit tight around me, whip is always besides me. It's 8 bars. Don't overanalyze the lyrics. The pre-chorus, there's a verse, pre-chorus, and chorus in this song. The pre-chorus is, you'll learn to love me in my... Okay, and then the chorus is, sweet pain, my love will drive you insane. It's 10 bars with the pre-chorus and the chorus is 10 bars, okay? And then the bridge is, you get to love me anyway, I say. Then there's a solo after the bridge. It's 8 bars. I mean, it's pretty obvious to me it's not Ace Frehley playing the solo. I wonder how long it took people to figure that out, because it probably wasn't like that in the original credits, where it said Dick Wagner. It's not bad, just doesn't sound like Ace, even though he was coached to play like Ace. And I guess just on that day, Ace checked out to play cards again. The outro is like the chorus, but the squeaky Dick Wagner guitar on top of it. And the song arrangement is verse, pre-chorus, chorus, verse, pre-chorus, chorus, bridge, solo, verse, pre-chorus, chorus, outro. And that's Sweet Pain. Track 7 on Destroyer is Shout It Out Loud, written by Ezrin, Simmons, and Stanley, 2 minutes and 47 seconds. I used to hate this song, and they had played on the radio when I was at work, and it actually made me like Kiss less. But now, over the years, it's grown on me. I kind of like it. It's probably the second best song on Destroyer. Shout It Out Loud. It's in the I don't know what key it is. I screwed up my notes here. It's 152 beats per minute in 4/4 time. And the intro is 8 bars. And the verse is, well, the night's begun and you want some fun. It's 8 bars. And then the pre-chorus is, it doesn't matter what you do or what you say. Just forget the things that you've been told. It's a 9-bar pre-chorus. And then the chorus is 8 bars. It's just shout it, shout it, shout it out loud. That's the chorus. The solo is 9 bars. Sounds like Ace to me. Just the way he played it live too. The where, you know, that whole thing. The outro is shout it, shout it, shout it, shout it out loud. You got to have a party. And the song structure is verse, pre-chorus, chorus, verse, pre-chorus, chorus, solo, outro. It's real, you know, it's when you listen to it, it's not too far off from I Want to Rock and Roll All Night. It's pretty close to the same song. Track 8 is Beth. It's credited to Ezrin, Peter Criss, and Stan Penridge. It's 2 minutes and 44 seconds. Now, if you don't know who Penridge is, he's the guy that writes Peter Criss's songs. And I heard Paul Stanley say in interviews that Peter would bring he'd bring a demo. He'd bring a demo of a song and it would be Penridge singing and playing guitar. Peter would be not even on the demo. And he never even, I think he said he never even met Penridge, if I'm right, if I'm remembering that right. Anyway, Dick Wagner on acoustic guitar and the big orchestra strings with the big piano part. And this song is uber schmupsy. I mean, it's just schmupsy. It's in the key of C major, so it's not tuned down. And Hal Leonard says it's in C, but when I looked at the guitar solo, that's in D. Also Hal Leonard, but it's probably in D just because a lot of times you pull sheet music and it's written in C. That should be a sign to you that they just scored it that way because it's easier to play on piano. But I looked at the guitar solo; it's in D. It sounds like it's in D, really. It's 80 beats per minute in 4/4 time, so fairly slow tempo. The intro was 8 bars on piano. The whole, that whole thing. And then the verse is, Beth, I hear you calling, but I can't come home right now. It's 8 bars. And the chorus is just a few more hours and I'll be right home to you. Da 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 da. It's a 10-bar chorus. And then the solo is like strings. It's not even a piano solo or a guitar solo. It's just strings for 18 bars, more like an instrumental. The whole it does that. The outro was Beth, I know you're lonely. It's just schmupsy. Verse, chorus, solo, outro. I don't know, maybe you love Beth, but it doesn't do a lot for me, really. Track 9 is Do You Love Me on Destroyer. It is written by Paul Stanley and Bob Ezrin and Kay Foley again. It's 4 minutes and 53 seconds. This is the best song on the album. Okay, that's not a hot take. It's my favorite song on the album. It's in the key E-flat major. So, all of these songs except for Beth is tuned down a half step. So I don't know what I was talking about at the beginning. That's like 8 out of 9. It's 120 beats per minute. I love the drum line that Peter plays for this song. That to me is like infectious. And the guitar line, the whole dun 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 do 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 do. I don't know. I like the song. It's in 4/4 time. The verse is, you really like my limousine. You like the way the wheels roll. It's 18 bars. And then the chorus is, do you love me? It's 8 bars. And then the bridge is, your backstage pass and black sunglasses make you look just like a queen. It's 8-bar bridge after the transition to and then is there a solo? I don't think so. No solo. The outro was, I want you to, do you love, it's just Paul screaming, do you love me? Do you love me? He's just screaming stuff. It's verse, chorus, bridge, chorus, 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 outro. And on this version, on the 97 remaster, there's a track 10, and the Genius calls it Rock and Roll Party. But if you look on the CD or on the label, it doesn't refer to any track. Well, I guess what would happen is on the album, it was like on the vinyl, it's like a seamless type deal. But it's Rock and Roll Party is 1 minute 25 seconds. It's actually better than what you hear on Great Expectations, which is what it's pulling from, but it's like an amalgamation of different sounds on the album. But you can hear the kids singing, "You've got great expectation." You know, they're singing that, and there's chimes, and there's soccer chants. There's all kinds of stuff going on. So that's how the album ends. After "Do You Love Me," they've got "Rock and Roll Party," and it's just a nice little montage of stuff that they pulled from the album and whipped together, and it sounds kind of cool, I guess. In summary, Kiss Destroyer, very popular album. 2.165 million sales in 3 countries. Canada, Japan, USA are reporting. 2 times platinum on September 9th, 2011. That's 2 million. And that's a lot. It's number 32 in 1976. Number 4 for Kiss behind Alive and Love Gun and Alive 2. So it's a big seller for them. It peaked at number 11 in the US, number 4 in Sweden, number 6 in Canada, Australia also number 6, and for you UKers, it peaked at number 22. That's pretty good. Allmusic.com gives it 4.5 stars, which is respectable. That's very respectable. And Rolling Stone had it on their 500 greatest albums of all time, number 496. That was back in 2003. I don't know if it's that great of an album. It's like I said, it's not the album I normally go to, for Kiss. Rolling Stone in 2004 gave it a 3.5. Nathan Brackett and Christian Horde. The original Rolling Stone review in 1976 was harsh. I found it online and read a little bit of it. They're just, don't like all their gimmicks, really. But the singles from this album, there are a lot of them. Shout It Out Loud, Flaming Youth, Detroit Rock City, Beth, which is schmupsy. But they pushed it with a lot of singles. And you've got the fancy artwork on the cover. And they probably went on a big tour and sold out every arena. And the hardcore Kiss fans really love it. For me, it's just all right. I in the Kiss Coach Plio Guy rankings, I had it number 12. I had it behind Animalize. I have it behind Animalize and ahead of Lick It Up, actually. Ahead of Sonic Boom and Monster. Honestly, I'm not sure I agree with that anymore. I don't know if I like it better than those albums. Much maligned by fans and critics. I like Sonic Boom and Monster. I know you guys don't love them, but I think they're pretty good. Little bit formulaic, but that's alright. Good stuff. This one I'll keep it at number 12. I like Sonic Boom and Monster a lot, though. Anyway, that's the end of the review. Thanks for tuning in to the Kiss Destroyer review. If you have any comments, you can leave a comment. Or if you liked this, you can hit the like button. And, if you haven't subscribed yet, you can subscribe. I'm trying to get to 300. I'm really close. I just need a few more to get to 300. I think I was at 292 or 293 the last time I checked. Well, go ahead and subscribe if you're a frequent listener. And next up on the channel will be Led Zeppelin Presents, and then after that, Chicago 10.